Freshly painted rims. Now they're not perfect, but you can see we have no overspray on the tire. I popped the bead down on them when I did this. I popped the bead down and wrapped a couple trash bags around the edge to cover up the tire and used some masking tape on the valve stem. Then of course, once I got done painting them, I popped the bead back on by airing it up. Stuck our valve stem core back in to actually air it up, and then, yeah. Now, they have some scratching because of, these used to have chrome rings on them. And if you know, this is a the title of the video will say, 67 Chevelle. Those aren't 67. No. Those are not 67 wheels. Those are 67 wheels. Those are actually the originals to that car. One of them might not be. I actually don't know which one is what. My dad said they got mixed up. But my dad had, from the factory, of course, the original, it would have been 5. Because it had a full-size spare from the start. And my dad hit a pothole one day to work. And he hasn't driven this car daily in like 20 plus years. Actually going on 30. Time flies. My entire life, this car has just sat, pretty much. But anyway, he hit a pothole and destroyed one of the rims, and then didn't hurt the car. It was one of the back wheels that got hit on the ground, or hit on a giant pothole. So anyway, it just ruined a wheel, and so of course the spare tire went on the car as the daily. So he didn't have a spare. He had a donut spare in there, which is what you see there. A really old, crappy donut that you should never trust. But anyway, he wanted to have, of course, the wheels replaced because one was damaged. So my dad got one from the junkyard. That was, of course, many years ago. And then he also got another one. So he bought 2 wheels from the junkyard. One to, of course, replace the damaged one and just have a spare off to the side. And when he had the car painted back in like 96 or 95 or something, either way, you can see it's beautiful, but this car only sits in the garage. So the beautiful paint job is still looking beautiful. Although the project was never completed. As you can see, we have our interior door handles, and this stuff was never sealed down. It's just kind of cut to fit and tossed in. And there's your dog dish caps that didn't make it back on yet. Headliner's hanging down. It was never cut and adhered or anything, really. So, yeah. Seats are reupholstered. And they look pretty nice. Not perfect, but yeah. And we do actually have replacement lock covers off of like a 66, I think, since one of these are broke. We have like a total of 6 66 lock covers or lock pieces, but the reason they're not on is because we need those like little grommets or whatever. And my dad ordered a pack of them wherever they went, and they don't fit. I'm gonna guess it's just because it's for the 2-door, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So that tire there was actually what was on the car. So the tires that I removed that are up there on that shelf, 3 of them were these Remington tires, which are from like 96, which is a darn shame because they have a huge amount of tread on them yet. I mean, they are beefy tires, but they're from 96 and you really can't see it on camera. But of course they have dry rot. And while it doesn't look terrible, I still wouldn't recommend driving on tires from 96. And I've heard terrible things about driving on old tires, even if they were in a garage. I don't know. It's better to be safe than sorry. So we have all 4 of these, which I'll tell you in a minute when I get back around here. These are another story for another piece of trash. These are from a junkyard. These are off of like an 88 S10, I think. They were off of an S10, I can tell you that. One of those old boxy 80s S10s. It was an extended cab short bed, I think. Yeah, extended cab short bed. It was white and blue, 2-tone. That turd came in, and I remember seeing the beautiful tires on it. Well, the next time I went out there, which was like a couple weeks later, for more car parts, not for this, it was for my car. Well, these were sitting up front in the wheels and tires for sale. And I walked in and asked, and well, I know the people pretty well. It's a little family-owned yard, but they're like, I said, well, where'd those come off of? Those rims up front. She's like, oh, that little S10 that just came in, the blue and white one, the old 80s one. And then I said, are they for sale? And she's like, yeah. And I asked, of course, what would they want for it? She said, $100. She said, the steel wheels really aren't worth anything, and we're really only going to be charging for the tires, considering. So I called my dad, and I said, hey, you know how you talked about getting new tires because of the factory tires are from 96? And he's like, yeah. And I said, well, they have a set of 14-inch rims out here, which, are the exact size. Those are 14-inch up there. These are 14-inch here. Same size, but a little bit newer, so the style of the wheel is just slightly different. And then I said they just have really nice tires on them. I said, of course, they're mounted and balanced, so we could literally just bolt them straight on. I said, I think the lug pattern's the same. And so he said, go for it. So I brought it home, and he paid me $100 back, and there you go. We got these really nice Hankook Optimos, which are only a few years old. Not very old. They're not bad at all. I mean, they're great on tread even. There's no dry rot or nothing. They're pretty dusty looking. And I need to just clean them up, put some tire shine on. But you can see the wheel's not perfect paint-wise. And that was just a quick rattle can job. So when we took these off the other day, we're doing brake work. As you can see, we got our tools and a couple springs down there. It's actually complete. Those are the old springs. But apparently the super, super cheap, crappy brake cylinders my dad bought are junk. So we spent all that time putting them in just to find out they're trash. What a surprise. And so yeah, when these were off the car, since we're working on the back as well, when these were off actually the back's together fine. We just had to bleed it once we get the new hose put in for the rear axle there, right above that connects to the hard line, so the soft line. Because believe it or not, it's original. That right there is an original brake hose from '67. And the cylinder. Not the brakes, of course, but yeah, the brake cylinder and the hose was originals. But the actual metal lines are in good shape. But anyway, yeah, when these were off the car, they were super crusty, and so I just sanded them real quick and rattle canned them for my dad, and he's really satisfied with that. Now, of course, they should be body color like that, but ordering the OEM paint color is going to be a lot of money. And I even told my dad, I'm like, I will spend the time to take the, bead breaker, break them off there, and I will peel them off and put them on those guys. And then we can run up to there's a little family-owned tire shop near us, and they only charge $5 a tire to just have them plain balanced, So if we just walk in with all 4 of these tires on those 67 wheels, they'll balance them for $5. Which is an excellent deal. I'm just saying, though, I offered to do that just because of the factory green, like my dad wants, and he's like, nah, I don't see a reason to. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just do a quick rattle can job on these guys. So he did. Anyway, they look pretty nice, and of course, when we're done, but we're not done yet, these were only painted a day ago. So, of course, the paint has cured to the touch, but it's going to take about a week for it to actually kind of cure. And you got these really, really beautiful, I mean, you can see they're dirty, but they're in fantastic shape. They're not dinged up or beat up. But this car has been in the family since brand new. So, anyway, these are not restored. These are not repainted. Again, they're just really dirty. They're not even, this is original paint. You can just see it's really dusty and gross. They're in fantastic shape. So, yes, they will be going back onto our wheels here. But they'll look beautiful with this paint. It's just kind of a shame it's not body color. But honestly, my dad, of course, likes the factory green, and he doesn't mind the silver, but I prefer the silver. I think it looks kind of nice to have, I guess you would say, like an offset, because otherwise it's just green on green. And while it does look nice to have body color wheels, it's kind of nice to have, again, I'm probably wrong for saying that, but like the offset. It's kind of neat to have that difference there. I like the bright silver with the white wall. I think that looks really nice. Hell, I like it without the hubcap on, but my dad's like, my dad thinks it's stupid that I like no wheel covers on a car. Same with like my little Neon or whatever. I think it looks nice with just plain black steel wheels. But anyway, it would look really nice with these dog dish caps back on. I'm just saying, I think the silver is such a nice touch for this car. But anyway, she's a factory little inline six. We'll get her new brake cylinders, and I'll have a video of the car, I guess, when we finally get her dropped back on the ground. But you can see she's in really good shape. It's factory dash pad and everything. I mean, it's really nice. And these are factory door cards. Original. That's not original. That's a junkyard thing. It's got reflection. I can't really show it. But, yeah. We'll get her done one day. Maybe. Probably not. We ordered brake parts when I was a freshman in high school, and, well, I'm a freshman in college. I just graduated because I took a one-year program, so that was 5 years ago. Well, actually, no, 4 years ago. But, yeah. We were having problems getting the brake lines off, and my dad and brother just gave up, and the car just sat in here for like 8 months up in the air on jack stands on the front. And so then we put it back down on the ground and made it drivable again, and now we're finally getting to the point of doing the brake cylinders again. Anyway, the reason for just hanging the wheels on temporarily is because where do we set those now? You mean to tell me there's no space to set that crap? Oh, well, I guess we'll just hang them on the car so they're at least out of the way. Anyway, thanks for watching.